I'm so happy that y'all are here because we are going to do something different for this week's vlog. We're gonna sit down and we are gonna talk about my most favorite places around London. The most amount of DMs I get are recommendations on what to do in London, what are the top places that you love, and you know, just any tips you have for places to go, things to see, touristy things, whatever it may be. First of all, love getting those messages and I love responding and talking about anything and everything. It's so fun recommending because I know just how much that person's probably gonna enjoy the experience or what have you that I recommended, because I truly enjoyed it and loved it and wish someone would tell me. So it's a little bit easier instead of having to stumble across it. Here I am right now sitting down and I can't wait for all y'all to see this and have all your recommendations all in one place. Not only is it going to be on a vlog, but I also made a, oh my gosh, what's it called again? A guide. Yeah, so this is the guide thing on Instagram that they have now. Right here I have it clicked. But I made a guide as well. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, re-emphasize all these things on here if you did not see it, and we're gonna get started. Number one, it is a dream day / date, whatever you have it, but it is the Columbia Road Flower Market on Sundays. It's on Columbia Road. Don't know exactly how to explain that within London terms, but put it in your city mapper and just go. It's wonderful. It opens up around 8 a.m. But if there's vendors there, then they'll let you come and buy. How it works is on the whole entire road, there's so many flower vendors that come and set up shop all along the road. You just walk straight down. It's not that long of a road, so you get to the end and then you go back and then you go back, and I do that a couple of times to make sure I pick the flowers that I truly want. So you go back and forth a little bit. I recommend doing that. And then you pick out the flowers or the arrangements that you're gonna put together yourself, and it's wonderful. I think it closes mid-afternoon, but I always recommend to go earlier in the morning because technically they will close when they run out of everything, and they normally do, or at least of the good things, of the good flowers that are, you know, a little bit more popular. It is only on Sundays, so do not go on a Saturday or a Monday or a Tuesday. It's not going to be open. The next place I recommend, I have given this recommendation out a couple of times now. My favorite place that I have experienced so far, so I don't know if it's the top place to get tea in London, but my favorite afternoon place I've been is Roast above Borough Market. It's a restaurant, but they do an amazing afternoon tea. The sandwiches are great, the scones are great, everything is just really wonderful, and it's not that expensive. It's around £38 per person. It's great, and you're above Borough Market. It's so cool to people watch, especially if you get a good seat within the restaurant. But you do have to make a reservation, and I do recommend going on a weekend because once you have a reservation, you get to go through Borough Market, what Borough Market actually is, the hustle and bustle. There's so many people everywhere, and it's really great to people watch. Definitely recommend. And how I rate an afternoon tea, first of all, I like the layout, the aesthetic of it, so it's super clean and pretty is how Roast does it. And I also love, I really rate teas high when their food actually tastes good. Like the desserts taste amazing, the scones are really great and they come out hot. That's like wonderful. Especially I rate on their clotted cream, and I really do like Roast clotted cream. I know that's, you know, like how isn't clotted cream the same everywhere, but it's not. I promise you it's not. The next thing I'm gonna go through, this is a scenery spot and another people watching spot. It's actually one of my most favorite people watching spots because of how many stories and romantic things you see when you go. If you are sad and you don't want to see any cute couples, do not go here because it is full of just love. Not even couples, but family, friends, everything. There's so many people there that are just having fun and enjoying the greenery, and this place is Primrose Hill. When I first heard about it, it was through one of my friends from my old study abroad, and her sister went and said that it's the best place to see sunsets in London because you get a really pretty view of the city. We went, it was super fun. The sunset, I don't rate it that high. Like, it's not It's not the best sunset I've ever seen, but I've also heard that it's just, you just have to time it right. And you'll never know when you get a wonderful, magical sunset, because London is super iffy on sunsets. I grew up in Northern California, and so sunsets were every night. Like, we had a sunset every night, and it was a beautiful sunset. And so I'm kind of comparing it off that because of how, oh my gosh, like in Northern California, the colors are spectacular. They're so beautiful. It's something you'll never see ever. Maybe I'm just, you know, not that experienced. I need to go to other places and travel to other places to see sunsets, but that's kind of what I'm comparing it to. So the sunset, it's not magical. It's not like what you think it is or what it'd be, but it's really, it's pretty when there is a sunset. And if there is, that's important. But people go there. I've seen a guy chilling there with his cat on the hill. I've seen cute couples there, probably on their first date, probably on their 100th date, whatever it is. I've seen people playing football, frisbee. There's a lot of dogs there too. So if you're a dog person, there's so many dogs there. And it's just a great time. It's a great place to have a picnic. It's really wholesome and super fun. So on to the next. We are gonna talk about my favorite, that sound at the back, sorry. That's what you get living in central London. We're gonna talk about my favorite museum here. I've been to a few now, and they're all amazing. None of them are terrible to where you don't even want to go, but this one is the Victorian Albert Museum. And I love it because it's a fashion museum. Well, there's some aspects of fashion and design as well. Mainly, there's so many pieces. I mean, you could travel around the world through that museum. There's like crown jewels in there, jewelry from all over the world, queen jewelry. There's like, I think Queen Victoria, like her ring is in there or something. I think Beyonce's ring is in there too. So super strange. There's Vivienne Westwood stuff. There's Doc Martens old shoes from like the very beginning. But there's also Greek statues and stuff. Like, it's super cool. There's so many things to see in there. You can spend hours upon hours. You can spend a whole day there and not cover everything. I think the architecture inside the building is also beautiful. So amazing for a photo shoot as well if you want, you know, the classy looking marble stairs. It's all there. For the springtime, which is coming so soon, hopefully, so close to springtime, I am so excited for it. When I did my 4-month study abroad, my last study abroad, I barely had the cusp of it. Barely had enough spring. I had to leave by April, and by that time it was full-on springtime, which I kind of missed. I got a little bit, I got a few weeks, and it was wonderful. It was magical. The gardens and the parks, it all looked so beautiful, so green, so many flowers, and the air, it was just warm and fresh. You know how spring is. So my #1 favorite garden to go to, or slash kind of park, is Kensington Gardens. Let me tell you, I had the most magical day. We actually went to the Columbia Road Flower Market, a couple girls and I from my last study abroad, Jen and Sophia. Love you, miss you if you're watching this. We went to the Columbia Road Flower Market, excuse me. And then we went to Kensington Gardens. Now they're nowhere near close. Don't know why we decided to do that, but we did. And I will honestly put the video right here because I videoed it too. Magical day. Super pretty. Let me just show you like one of the pictures. That's Kensington Gardens. It's magical during the springtime. Now I don't know if it's as magical looking because the sun's not out right now, but it's beautiful. I went there to read a couple of times too when I was studying abroad. So the next thing I want to recommend is the Holly Bush. It is a pub, but it is literally a fairy tale pub of what you think a pub would look like if you went. And I'll link the video here. I also went there when I did my Hampstead Heath day, and it is in Hampstead Heath. And so I highly recommend this because, first of all, not only are you just going to see this beautiful fairy tale pub, but you're also going through Hampstead Heath. And Hampstead Heath is one of my favorite neighborhoods. It is so naturey, but also whimsical. So it's just a combination. It was the neighborhood in which I was walking in one of my very first days when I first ever got to London for my study abroad, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to move here. It is beautiful. I want a house here. I want to live in Hampstead Heath with my 2 cats and just live life in London. So definitely highly recommend that. One of my favorite plays ever that I'm going to recommend, I haven't seen that many plays, so I'm going to say that to be honest. I've seen Hamilton, I've seen this other play, I forget, it was about, oh my goodness, who is it about? It was about, who's that guy who makes pop art and he likes filming everything? Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol. So it was a play over Andy Warhol, but it wasn't a musical. And then I've seen Back to the Future. I saw that one. I've seen Wicked. I've seen Wicked, and I've seen The Lion King. But my favorite musical ever that I highly recommend if you come to London, especially the actors. There's this one actress, I'm gonna find her name and put it here, but her voice is angelic, and she also performed, her and, you know, the two main characters, they performed their beautiful, most famous, iconic performance for the Queen's Jubilee last fall, I think is when the Jubilee was, or like, yeah, last year. And amazing. So Phantom of the Opera, if you had to guess it, because if you know they performed, then yeah, you knew. But Phantom of the Opera is so amazing. You must see if you're here in London. It's one of my favorite plays. I love the story. I think it's just this beeping. I'm sorry, y'all. Someone's backing it up. Okay, I think the beeping's done for now. It'll probably start again. But yes, highly recommend Phantom of the Opera. I just get chills every time. The high notes and just the music and the production of it, the orchestra underneath, it's just beautiful. So definitely highly recommend that. And then my next recommendation is you need to go to Abbey Road. Abbey Road Studios. I've been a couple of times. It's so awesome. It's, if y'all don't know, it's where the Beatles have that famous picture with the walkway. And it does get busy, so I recommend going more in the morning or not on a weekend. Do not go on a weekend because there's probably going to be lines of people, and then you're going to have to Photoshop like so many people out of your picture. So definitely go on the weekday. But right near there too is Abbey Road Studios, and you can look up all the artists who have written and produced or worked in Abbey Road Studios. I mean, our girl Taylor Swift, she's been in there. And the production for so many movies, it's just amazing. So cool how many iconic people have been in there. My next recommendation, it is on the food side, and it is a chain restaurant. I have to say it. It's called Nando's. It is so good. If you like chicken, go. It's super good. I highly recommend, if you're gonna get a spice level, do one lower than what you normally get because it is so spicy. It's unreal, but it's super good. Super good. I just had to say that real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about Nando's, but definitely go to Nando's. The next recommendation, I went to this skating rink in Somerset House, and I know this is more of a winter recommendation, but it was so magical and amazing that I have to recommend it. It is in Somerset, which is a museum, conference rooms, cafe, this beautiful place. And even if you don't even go to the ice rink, that's in the winter time that they pop up, just go to the Somerset House because it's so beautiful. Talk about Instagram pictures and, you know, acting like you're in Bridgerton, that is definitely the place to go. The museum, it is free if you have a student card, so bring your ID. They'll let you in for free. It's just like one of the houses is the museum, so you'll have to look that up on the internet to figure out, you know, where you need to be, where you need to go. But definitely go to the Somerset House. Definitely. And then the next recommendation, it includes vintage and thrift shopping. So I totally recommend going to one of my favorite markets of London, which is Spitalfields Market. They have a mixture of clothes and food, but why I love Spitalfields is because of the location it's at. So you don't just get Spitalfields, you also get Brick Lane in Shoreditch. So Shoreditch is super cool to walk around. I've gone out a couple of times in Shoreditch and it was so fun. I mean, Taylor Swift does say in her London Boy, Shoreditch in the afternoon, so it's really fun. But just don't be walking around on the streets so late. But you shouldn't do that anywhere anyways. Brick Lane is amazing, although it can get super expensive. Now this is vintage finding. So I would have to say that vintage is more expensive pieces and it's a little bit more priced jacked up because they can, and it's Brick Lane. Thrifting, I would say, is more charity shops, and that's not Brick Lane. So if you're going to Brick Lane, just know that everything's a lot more expensive than it probably should be, but that's what it's known for. I don't think I've ever bought in anything in Brick Lane, not because I didn't want to, like there's so many cute pieces, but I just could not spend that type of money. In my budget, I just don't have enough money for that. But if you do have a penny to spend, they have great finds there, definitely go. Charity shops, I don't have any recommendations, only to the fact of go to Red Cross charity shops, go to just places where people pop up charity shops all over. And what charity shops are, I think the idea of it is like they get all these clothes in, like thrift for thrifting and vintage finds, and a lot of the proceeds, it's either a portion of the proceeds or all the proceeds go to different charities. And I also love that. First of all, it's cheaper for you, but it's harder to find pieces because you really have to go through pieces. And then second of all, it goes to charity. Like your money's going somewhere that's going to benefit someone else, which is amazing. So definitely recommend. Vintage and thrifting, totally different things, I think. And so just be aware of that. Really be aware. My next recommendation, there's this road called the Mall, and it leads to Buckingham Palace. And if you're on the side where the park is, I think it's St. James Park or St. Regent's Park, one of those, and you're on the Mall, if you are walking back towards away from Buckingham and you're on the side of the lawn where all the park is, if you look over to your right, you are going to see a magical view of Big Ben and the park. And especially during springtime and summertime, I got the most amazing video. I'll put it right here too to find it. But I got the most amazing video of just people laying in the lawn and just by Big Ben. It's beautiful. It was so pretty. So definitely recommend going to that spot. I also recommend going to Big Ben. And then when you're actually there, there's, I think it's the Westminster Bridge. Hold on, let me look that up actually. Yes, it is the Westminster Bridge. So when you go on there, Big Ben's gonna be right here on your right, or wherever you're standing. And actually that, I don't know if that's true. But Big Ben will be over here, and then you get a perfect view of the London Eye as well. So definitely recommend going there. I know I've said in a few vlogs that I used to go there at night, and still do, and I just sit there and look at the city. Just can't believe I'm still in London and that I made it. I'm doing a master's here. I live here full time now. Crazy to think how life works. So one of my favorite places to go, definitely highly recommend. Also recommending another museum. If you want to see pieces like Van Gogh's Sunflower or Monet and his water lilies, those kinds of really famous paintings, go to the National Gallery. The architect is beautiful in there. There's so many famous paintings, and it's free, so you don't have to pay anything to get into the museum. I'm saying it here first, but I'm going to be starting a new series or a vlog where I'm going to go out every Thursday or Friday to a new neighborhood in London. So I'm going to be exploring London more and sharing it with y'all, and I'll probably sit down and just rate my experience within that neighborhood. And so I think it's necessary because I have a lot of recommendations, but I should have more, if that makes sense. Like I should be going out more, trying experiences, but it's also, the pros and cons of that is that I don't have that much money to spend. So I'm trying to do as many free things as I can. And so that's kind of the gist of it, of why I don't do that many experiences. But I hope all these recommendations and these tips are going to help you when you are here, for whether you're here studying abroad soon, whether you're here traveling on vacation. That's London for you. I hope these tips and tricks really help you. A lot of y'all ask about this. It's what the audience wants. So I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to help as much as possible. Those are the sirens. I'm sorry. There are so many noises in London today, but that is the city that you are about to be exploring and you're about to be in. So I'm super excited and happy for you that just enjoy it. You're going to have so much fun in London. London is a great city. There's so many things to do. My recommendations are literally like the penguin that's on the tip of the iceberg. And you didn't even see like anything else underneath. There's like a whole under iceberg, and the whole tip of the iceberg you still have to explore. So, and I still have to explore too. Love sitting here and chatting with y'all, and I will see y'all next week. I really do hope that this helped. Please share this with anyone you're traveling with or whoever you're you know, who might be traveling to London soon. And I will see y'all next week with another video. Have a great weekend, great day, great afternoon, great night, good morning, whatever it is. Bye y'all. Thanks for watching.